Hello, yeah, good day, my viewers. Welcome to Catfish Therapy. Today I'll be giving you some tips you need to know for a successful hatchery procedure. Today I'll be talking about um, water quality and temperature. Is very necessary and very important as long as you're a catfish farmer. Most farms have been to they've been having these issues about water quality and temperature. It's been a very big issue in so many farms. Behind me, you can see a hatchery farm setup I'm handling. We had these similar issues here when I came in. The water quality was bad and we were having bad results. So today I'm going to give you some tips you need to know about water quality and temperature. It's very necessary if you want to have a successful hatchery procedure. So first of all, there are things you need to understand when you talk about water quality. So many people who are into this hatchery, they they think it's magic. There's no magic. There's no magic anywhere. No magic can be done. You just have to follow the necessary steps and follow it lucratively and straightforward. No bending. There's no two ways about it. It's either you do it right or you fail. Two things we use to balance water quality. And when we talk about this water quality, we are talking about pH in particular. Water pH, very important. So many people who are into this catfish farming, they don't even know what is water pH. They think every water is good for fries, but it's not true. A normal table size catfish can go for any water. Average, you might be lucky. You don't need to have any issue with the water quality. But when you come to fry and fry management, hatchery in particular, then you should be talking about your water pH. It's very necessary that that's the first step you have to take to ensure that you have a successful hatchery. So I have with me here is this is a chart, a kind of water chart. It's a color chart which is used to know the range of your water. And the next thing you need to have in your farm is this reagent. Is a pH checker. We use it to check the level of your pH. So I think with this chart and this reagent, you will be able to know the level of your pH. And normally the normal level for this pH is 7. That's the standard. Even if you make some research, you will see 7 as the standard. But based on my practical experience as a fish farmer, I will tell you that 6.0, which is 6 to 7, is okay to start with. Is very okay. So if you watch with me here, you will see some colors showing 4.0 color, 5.0, 6.0, 6.6 and 7.0, which is the neutral. Then from 4.0 to 6.0 is acidic. Then from 7.0 upwards is alkaline. You don't still need it. It has to be at that 7, but I'm giving you assurance that if from 6.0 to 7.0 is good to go. So today we are going to be having some practical observation so that you understand what I'm talking about. I have a natural water I fetched from the borehole. So we are going to test it. Then I have my sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate is normally what people use to balance their water pH. But with my experience all over the years, I option for other stuff, and that other stuff is oyster shell. So today I'm going to be bringing sodium bicarbonate and the oyster shell. We are going to check it, and we will know the differences and know the disadvantages and the advantages too. So I hope you're entertained and you work with me on this while we check and observe. Okay, right here we have the sodium bicarbonate. These are the sodium bicarbonate, and burnt oyster shell. I burnt this oyster shell. It's not the normal oyster shell. I got mine and I burnt it. The reason why I burnt it is because when you burn it, it's easy to break. See, if you don't burn it, you can't break it. See, and it's faster than the normal oyster shell. So that's the reason why I burnt mine. In case you're wondering why I burnt my oyster shell, it's faster to react to water than the normal oyster shell, the one that is unburnt. They work the same thing, but the delay is what we are talking about here. So we are going to take the oyster shell and also the sodium bicarbonate, and we are going to test it in a boil of water. So I think we'll start with the sodium bicarbonate. Let's check and see. But before we check the sodium bicarbonate, we have to test this water. Remember, I told you I got this water from the borehole directly. So we'll check it and observe through the color chart. For those who didn't see the color chart well, you can see it right now. This is the color chart range 4 to 10. Like I said, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 6.6 is termed acidic. Watch the listing, you see it's acidic. Then from 7.0, which is the neutral level, upwards is alkaline. It's still not good for the fries. They will die off immediately. So first of all, let's test the normal borehole water so that we can know what is given. So when we check it, we will know. Using the reagent, two drops of the reagent to the water. Now, as you can see, I think we are in for 5.0, between 5.0 to 5.5 using the color charts. So for those of you who doesn't have this color chart, you can still go to internet and download yours so that you can see it. So you can see that this water is very acidic. It's not good for the fries, and that was the issue we were facing in the farm. Even though that this one is directly from the borehole, not directly from the tank where we are using for the hatchery. So now we are going to add our sodium bicarbonate. We're going to add it to the water so that we'll see. Remember, this sodium bicarbonate, as we are doing, we are going to check and know and see how fast we are going to get a neutral level. So I just added a little because of I'm using a boil of water and not a bucket of water. So for those of you who are using ponds, you can be measuring it little by little so that you can know when it's up to the neutral level. Please do not rush it so that you won't make the water alkaline. In case you still make the water alkaline, do well by topping the water or flushing the water a little bit. So let's check this one I added and see. if the sodium bicarbonate is actually very useful for balancing the water pH. Now, what are you seeing? The water is now alkaline. As you can see, it's even 9.0 to 9.5. So this shows that the sodium we added here is very, very high. Okay, so you see why I said you have to measure it little by little. So we are going to go again and see how we'll get it right. So I'm going to throw away this water and fetch another one, and we'll try it again. Okay, so I just got a fresh water, and we'll have to try again with the sodium. This time around, we are going to take a little tip, because the last one we did was much. It's just a bowl of water, so I think a tip is going to be okay. And this is what I got, a tip of the sodium. We'll test it again, and we'll check if the tip is much. If it's not much, then we are good to go. But this shows that the sodium bicarbonate is fast in reaction. So we have to wash this one off, the one that we did before. Okay, so I'll fetch another one. Then we use the reagent again. Okay, good. So what we have here, we have 7.0. So this shows that a tip was okay for a bowl. So wherever you're watching from, you have to use this to know the amount of sodium you are going to use for your pond. Using the color chart, you can see that we've gotten 7.0, which is the normal range for fries. Now, I would like to also show you a little disadvantage of this sodium bicarbonate. Now, if you can observe well, you will see that there are some little pieces of this sodium that didn't dissolve. Yes, if you can look well. Yes, under the ground, under the bowl, a little pieces of this sodium didn't dissolve. Now, the disadvantages of this one, of this sodium bicarbonate, is that with time, this pH is going to increase, and you might not be there. This pH is going to increase with time, because when the sodium that I just dropped, the ones that are on the bottom of this bowl, by the time they dissolve, they will react and spike up this water. So that is the disadvantage of this sodium bicarbonate. Now we are going to go ahead and check the oyster shell and see. Okay, using the same method we used for the sodium, we go again for the oyster. We have to check the water to confirm that it's acidic. And here you go. You see, it's acidic. This one is very acidic, 4.0 to 5.0. That's the acidic nature of this borehole water. Very, very bad for fries. So what we have to do now, I have to break in my shells. But before I break in the shells, I think I have to weigh it. Let's weigh it and know the total number of shells that is inside here. So I have my template. So let's weigh and know. So we have 362 gram, going to 361 gram now for the shells. if you minus the plate weighs 3 gram, 3 or 4 gram, so that should be giving us around 358 or 357. So we have to break in the shells so that it can work faster. But if you burn it, there's no point breaking it if you don't want to break it. If you feel like you don't want to break it, you don't have any problem, it still works the same. So we have to put little and know if they are going to react or not. So we're going to check and see if there is instant reaction or it's something we are going to wait over time. So I think this is enough for now. Let's test the water immediately and see if there is an instant reaction like the sodium. Okay, I think there is a reaction, but the reaction isn't like the one with the sodium. Now, an advantage of this shell is that over time this is going to spike up to 6.6 to 7.0. It's going to take a little while to spike up, but as you can see, you can see that it's getting up to that level just a little bit. Before you know it, you will see 6.6 or 7.0. Yes, if we should add more, let's see if we add more, if there will be an instant result. Let's add more shells and see if there will be instant results. So adding more shells now. So let's make some observation again. Okay. Let's see if there's, I think there's a big difference too. Yes, there is little difference. So if we should give it more minutes, I think we'll have results up to 6.6 to 7.0. So in all, you've seen the difference between the sodium bicarbonate and the shells, but the shells are natural while the sodium is not natural. The shells tends to increase the water pH, but not immediately at the spot. But the sodium bicarbonate increases the water pH immediately at the spot. Now, why this is not good for your fries is this: your fries might be stressed out to the reaction of your water, your immediate reaction of your water. Why this slowly interacts and involves with the water, and this helps your fries to easily welcome the change in the water pH. So these are the two items, the shell and the sodium bicarbonate are the two items we use to balance water pH. So I think we are 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes has gone. So I think we have to observe this again. So let's have a confirmation of what it looks like after 5 minutes or more than 5 minutes. So let's give approximately 10 minutes. So I have to check it again and see if there is some changes. Now, what I seen, very good, very good. So you see, it slowly reacts with the water, which is very good for the fries. Slowly. So you see, slowly reacts with the water. Slowly reacts with the water. So I still recommend this for each and every one of you watching this video right now. This is very necessary for you to have a successful fry procedure or management. So this is it. Okay, so with the little practical we just did right now, you can observe by yourself and see the reactions between the two, the oyster shell and the sodium bicarbonate. So the sodium bicarbonate is faster. People use it in their farms also, but I won't advise you to apply directly to your pond. People apply it to the tank so that before it will get to the pond, the reaction won't have any bad side effects on the fries. If you apply it to your pond directly, it might spike up because, like I showed you, there are some remnants on the bottom of the boil that we used, and you saw it. So the remnants ends up dissolving, and you might not be there, you might not be aware. So by the time you're gone, thinking that you've solved your water pH issue, the remnants will spike up, and maybe if your pH is at 7.0 when you did it, or 6.6, you don't know the total amount of the remnants that didn't dissolve in the water. It must spike it up and it will become alkaline, which is also not good for the fries. So personally, on my own, I use oyster shell. I have had so many good evidence. The oyster shell is my #1 fan. I'm the #1 fan of the oyster shell. I prefer, and I tell my clients and my people who I work with that oyster shell is preferable, and it's lifetime. Yes, when you do it, you don't bother yourself again. But the sodium bicarbonate, you have to be buying sodium bicarbonate almost every time, and you don't. It's very costly now. It's very costly in the market. So I think you should go for a permanent solution than a temporary solution. Both are fine. In case if you're in a hurry, you can go for the sodium. But if you need a permanent solution to your problem, your water quality problem, your pH issues, I think you should go for the oyster shell, because there are a lot of things the oyster shell does. It's a kind of purifier. Even in a normal river, the oyster shell is a purifier. So I think you should go for the oyster shell. So the next thing we are talking about here is temperature. So many people don't observe their temperature. They really don't care about the temperature. But temperature is very necessary in fry management. And I have with me here my thermometer. This is the one I got. In case you need it, in case you need the thermometer, you don't know where you can get it, you can chat with me, chat the number on your screen, or comment in the comment section, and I will help you out and deliver it to you, including the pH reagents. These are necessary tools, necessary kits that are needed in your farm. Without this, you're sinking yourself in failure. So I think it's very necessary that you have all this. So this is the thermometer for my temperature. I always observe the temperature on daily basis, especially when there is rain. We're not in the northern states. In the northern states where it's very hot, it's still not good. So the normal temperature gauge is 24 degrees Celsius to 29. It's okay. But the average gauge that is good, we're talking about 27, 26 points. Then you're good to go. But 27 is the gauge. So, but if you have below that, maybe because of the rain and the dews, you'll be having like 25.4, 25.9, 25.2 or 3, you are good. 24, I will advise you, if you're going below 24 in your temperature, don't feed them. Yes, do not feed them. Just allow them and allow the atmospheric weather to change. So when the atmosphere changes, you are good to go. You check it again and observe and know if you're good to go. So I'm going to also run a practical test on the temperature we have on my farm. So when we check it, we'll know if it's actually working. So work with me as I also observe this one. And if you have any questions, you are free to drop your questions on my comment section. So drop the questions on my comment section, and also you can DM me. The number is on top of the screen there if there's any issue. So we can help you out and give you a good platform and good conditions necessary and tips necessary to carry out a successful fry management and hatchery procedures. So let's go and observe this one too. So this is one of the ponds. As you can see the fries. This fry is day 10 today. You can see the movement. You can see, let me just give you a knock. You see the movement. See how they are moving. So this is a wonderful project going on here. So let's observe the temperature. So I'm going to on my thermometer. Now I put it in the water and we read it. So it's dropping. 26.4 now, 26.3, 26.2, 26.1, 25.9, okay, 25.8, okay, 25.7, 25.7, and I think we've got a number, 25.6. Okay, the temperature gauge is I think is okay. 25.6 is the final gauge. So as you can see, let me just give you a view of the fries also, so you can have observation. You can observe and see for yourself. So this is a wonderful work going on right here. Really wonderful work going on right here. So okay, so if you see the pond, you can see my shells are inside the pond. So that's to show you that I'm using the shells instead of the sodium. So I applied some of the shells in the pond to help, and some are in the tank also. So that's it.